This is my first time planting sweet potatoes. The first frost hit about 48 hours ago, and the frost got most of the vines. But did my sweet potatoes survive? Let's find out. At the end of June, I planted five 50-gallon containers of Murasaki sweet potatoes. It's almost mid November, and I'm harvesting them. Conventional gardening wisdom says that you've got to harvest sweet potatoes before the first frost. So I honestly had no idea if I'd be pulling big, beautiful potatoes or a big, slimy, frostbitten mess. Also, I know that there's a lot of influencers that plant sweet potatoes and get nothing. So this will be interesting to see what happens. The soil became compacted over time, so I'm rocking this grow pot so I can gently check for a harvest without damaging the possible crop. If you use things like shovels, etc., trowels to go down in there, you could possibly damage the sweet potatoes because you can't see them and they're real delicate. So you really want to try to do things with your hands or either kind of rock it like I'm doing to get that crop, that possible crop to come out. Okay, a few more shakes. And we're getting there. And there we go. Hey, we've got a potato. Now I'm just going to go through this pile of soil with my hands to find out if we've got other potatoes throughout here. Just kind of moving the vines apart from the soil. I'm going to reuse this soil. You really want to reuse your soil as much as possible. I know some people talk about throwing soil out, but I'll definitely reuse this because I did see moths at least twice this season. I had a netting on this sweet potato and I still saw one or two moths there. I'm going to actually treat this soil after I harvest these sweet potatoes. There's a special treatment you can use for onion moths. And then here's our first sweet potato. That's a nice big one. Yeah, so we're doing good. And that color is so gorgeous on them. I knew they were supposed to be purple, but I did not know their color was going to be quite that gorgeous. So it's good to see such a nice, beautiful, rich color on them. So I'll just continue to pick through this first pot and see what we've got. We have some big, nice potatoes, and we've also got some more medium sized ones that I can bake and then, make some type of casserole or some type of other dish with those. The bigger ones we probably just bake and use them just like they are at that size. But I'm very pleased with this first pot so far that I got something because, like I said, there's always the fear. There are people who actually have vines and have almost nothing when they go to harvest. So there's always kind of that mystery or that suspense of will I have anything to actually work with. So I'm just kind of going through now in more detail, getting down into this soil just to make sure I'm not missing anything and making sure I'm getting um, all the vines because I do want to separate the vines from the soil so I can, like I said, treat that soil for next year. Here's another nice one. That's a nice size one. So grow pot one is now complete. So I'm going to take this soil and get a shovel and now move some of this soil over because I'm going to continue to use this same tarp to check our other four pots to see what harvested in them. So I'm just going to move this over, make a little room, and we'll start on pot two. Okay, here's pot number two, and we'll follow the same process. And the soil really got compacted down in there over time. I'm just showing how that happened, but I'm wondering if that's a clue to our harvest. Although we're getting a nice harvest, I know that I still could always get an even bigger harvest especially in a 50 pound, a 50 gallon, I should say, grow bag. So I'll just go through and pick out the ones I'm finding. And then you'll see this one that I'm holding up. See how some of the skin's kind of rubbed off? Even with me being gentle and using gloves instead of a shovel, it still did that. So you just do, like I said, want to be careful because it will, any kind of shovels or trowels will really make it difficult to get those out of there, and it will damage the crop possibly. So you just have to be so careful with these as you harvest them. While I'm finishing up pot two, I'd like to invite you to join my free school group, Grow, Plan, Live. The link is in the description. Okay, grow pot number three. We're over halfway there. While I'm very proud of this crop, there's always things that we can do to get a better harvest. The first thing is to plant earlier in the season. Although I planted at the end of June, I actually had these slips probably 2 or 3 weeks before I planted them. I got busy, and when it comes to sweet potatoes, 2 or 3 weeks can make a big difference in the yield you get and the size of the potatoes. The second thing we can do is check our soil quality. While I did have things in the soil to make it lighter, there's vermiculite, there's compost in there. You can always do your own soil composition because I do make my own soil based on the Mills Mix recipe. You can always make your soil lighter, adding more organic materials. So next year I'll focus on making it even lighter to reduce the chance that it'll compact. Because if it compacts, that seems to make the potatoes feel like they don't have enough room to grow and spread out. Fertilizer also is important. While you do need nitrogen, certain plants need more of the phosphorus and potassium than they need the nitrogen. And sweet potatoes are one of those that don't need a lot of nitrogen. If you do a lot of nitrogen, you'll get more vines than you'll get actual sweet potatoes that you're trying to get, and it won't form the roots. So we want to focus more on things like bone meal that'll provide us the other end of the PK, end of the NPK ratio, more on the other end. And so I did do that. I'm wondering if maybe I could do. I did it every 2 weeks. I fertilized. I'm wondering if maybe fertilizing a little bit more frequently would be better. I would love to find a liquid, water soluble fertilizer that's organic. That would be more like a bone meal. If you know of one, let me know. The only ones I know are not organic. So let me know in the comments if you know of one that is heavier on the PK part of the NPK ratio. A fourth thing we can try is to limit the number of slips that go into each of our grow pots. While I did try to limit my slips to about four per pot for that 50-gallon grow pot, I could always try to just do two slips in a pot and give them even more space in that grow bag. If you got, smaller bags, of course, you'll have to adjust accordingly based on the gallons and your size. But I would definitely try these four tips because I'd like to, even though I got a great harvest for my first time, I'd like to get even more potatoes overall. And I like for my potatoes also to be bigger overall. Some of them were large, but some of them were more on the small to medium size. So I'd like to improve both the individual size of the potatoes and the overall amount of the potatoes that I got at harvest. As we wrap up our first harvest with grow bags 4 and 5, I want to know your tips for growing sweet potatoes. So if you've got tips that I didn't list, let me know below. Anything for a bigger harvest or actual big individual potatoes. Okay, so here's our final harvest from our 5 pots. Like I said, glad that we got things that we can actually use in the kitchen, but definitely looking for an even better harvest next year. Thanks for joining me. And again, I'd like to invite you to join my school group, Grow, Plan, Live. See you next time.